I think we're seeing a lot of these birth pangs that Jesus spoke of, but we're also seeing this alignment of Russia, Iran, Turkey, and other countries forming this alliance against Israel.
Amid the current Israel-Hamas war, protests have erupted not only in the Middle East, but in New York, Spain, and various parts of the world. However, something even more shocking is happening within the Israeli borders. The Jewish people have taken a sudden decision to reclaim their birthright and restore their historic place of worship. Historians are convinced that the ongoing war and the Israeli reforms are only a few of the challenges the Jews are going to face. How will the Jews accomplish this remarkable feat?
It's been several hours since the state of Israel woke up to a barrage of rockets that were fired from the Hamas group from the Gaza Strip.
Will the Muslim community allow the completion of this project? Let's find out. In a few fast weeks, there has been a significant shift in global sentiment towards Israel due to its decision to retaliate against the attacks on its people. The events of October 7th, 2023, continue to haunt the memories of ordinary Israeli citizens, as they tragically lost loved ones at the hands of Islamic extremists. The question of how much retaliation is justified has been a pressing moral dilemma for over a month. However, it is clear that Israel would face much more violent attacks if the opposing side had a comparable level of sophisticated military weaponry. In the midst of all these, a recent shocking development within Israeli borders has redirected the attention of the Jewish community towards a more uplifting and inspiring endeavor. What is this strange event? How did it initiate the rebuilding of the Third Temple? And why are different sects fighting against the accomplishment of this goal? To thoroughly explore the nuances around what just happened in Israel that shocked all religious people, we have to first dive into the history of Israel. Israel, officially recognized as the State of Israel, is a captivating country nestled in the heart of the Middle East. Its geographical neighbors include Lebanon to the north, Syria to the northeast, Jordan to the east, Egypt to the southwest, and the Mediterranean Sea to the west. The story of Israel, with its rich history and cultural tapestry, traces back to the obedience of one outstanding individual. According to the Old Testament, Abram, at the age of 75, heeded God's call to leave his homeland and journey to the land of Canaan, accompanied by his wife Sarai and nephew Lot. After an arduous voyage, they finally arrived in the promised land of Canaan, where they were informed that this territory had been designated for them and their descendants. However, it is important to note that Canaan was already inhabited by various Canaanite tribes at the time of their arrival. These tribes, such as the Hittites, Amorites, Hivites, Jebusites, Perizzites, and Girgashites, are frequently mentioned in the Old Testament. The Canaanites were a diverse group with distinct cultures, languages, and economic activities, primarily centered around agriculture and trade. Their religious practices encompassed polytheism, showcasing the vibrant tapestry of their beliefs. The exact date of Abram's arrival in Canaan is not explicitly mentioned in biblical texts, but it is generally believed to have taken place in the early 2nd millennium BCE. The relationship between Abram and the Canaanites was multifaceted, often characterized by tension. Some passages depict the Canaanites as hospitable and welcoming to Abram and his family, while others portray them as hostile and antagonistic. Nevertheless, despite the challenges they encountered, Abram and his family eventually established their presence in Canaan. The land of Israel holds immense historical, cultural, and religious significance, particularly for three major Abrahamic religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Over the millennia, this region has served as a cradle of civilization, witnessing the ebb and flow of numerous empires and cultures. From the ancient Israelites and Canaanites to the Assyrians, Babylonians, and Persians, each civilization has left an indelible mark on the landscape. The Israelite tribes united under King Saul around 1000 BCE during the period known as the United Monarchy. King David succeeded Saul and made Jerusalem the capital, while King Solomon constructed the first temple on the Temple Mount. This temple became a central place of worship, hosting sacrificial rituals and symbolizing the covenant between God and the Jewish people. Following Solomon's reign, the kingdom split into the northern and southern regions. The northern kingdom of Israel fell to the Assyrians in 722 BCE, leading to the exile of many of its inhabitants. Subsequently, the southern kingdom of Judah was conquered by the Babylonians in 586 BCE, resulting in the destruction of the first temple and the Babylonian exile of many Judahites. After the fall of the Babylonian Empire to the Persians, Cyrus the Great issued a decree permitting Jewish exiles to return to their homeland and rebuild their temple. This marked the beginning of the Second Temple period, during which the Second Temple was erected in Jerusalem. In the 1st century CE, Christianity emerged in the region, and Jesus of Nazareth, a central figure in Christianity, lived and preached there. However, in 70 CE, the Romans destroyed the Second Temple during the Jewish-Roman War. The historical events of ancient Israel, intertwined with religious texts and archaeological evidence, have significantly shaped the cultural, religious, and historical identity of the Jewish people, and have had a lasting impact on the world at large. During the 1920s and 1930s, a wave of Jewish immigration to Palestine occurred as Jews sought refuge from anti-Semitism and persecution in Europe. This immigration, known as Aliyah, had a profound effect on the demographic landscape of Palestine and led to escalating tensions with the Arab population. Motivated by the Zionist movement's goals, these immigrants purchased land from Arab landowners and established agricultural settlements known as kibbutzim and moshavim. These settlements aimed to create self-sufficient Jewish communities and played a pivotal role in the development of Jewish infrastructure and institutions. However, the increasing number of Jewish immigrants and the establishment of Jewish settlements raised concerns among the Arab population. Arab leaders and communities feared the loss of their land, political rights, and national identity. They perceived Jewish immigration as a threat to their culture, aspirations for self-determination, and way of life, leading to violent clashes between Jewish and Arab communities. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion, the head of the Jewish Agency and future Prime Minister of Israel, proclaimed the Israeli Declaration of Independence. This significant historical document officially announced the establishment of the State of Israel. Ben-Gurion emphasized the deep historical connection between the Jewish people and the land of Palestine, underscoring the need for a homeland where Jews could live freely and securely. The declaration acknowledged the suffering and persecution endured by Jews throughout history, particularly during the Holocaust, highlighting the compelling necessity for a Jewish state. It expressed gratitude for the international recognition and support received, referencing the United Nations General Assembly resolution passed on November 29, 1947. Exactly 76 years later, the partition of Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states plays a vital role in what just happened in Israel that has shocked all religious people. Why is Jerusalem considered significant to the three major Abrahamic faiths? Imagine yourself transported to the ancient world where bustling civilizations thrived. As you wander through the arid landscapes of the Middle East, you stumble upon the earliest traces of Jerusalem, dating back to the 4th millennium BCE. Its ancient name, Rushalamim, echoes through the annals of Egyptian texts, providing glimpses of its existence in the 19th century BCE. Throughout the ages, Jerusalem witnessed the ebb and flow of power, changing hands between different regional powers. Canaanites, Jebusites, and Israelites all left their mark on this storied city. But it was King David who made a significant impact around 1000 BCE. With determination and strategic prowess, he captured Jerusalem from the Jebusites, establishing it as the capital of the United Kingdom of Israel. Under King Solomon's reign, Jerusalem flourished. Majestic structures adorned the landscape, most notably the First Temple, an awe-inspiring testament to the city's spiritual and political significance. Jerusalem became the heartbeat of Jewish life, a center of worship, and a symbol of national identity. Jerusalem holds immense significance not only for Judaism, but also for Christianity and Islam, making it a city of profound religious importance for all three faiths. Its historical and spiritual significance is deeply rooted in the beliefs and traditions associated with each religion. For Judaism, Jerusalem is considered the holiest city. It is closely tied to the history and religious identity of the Jewish people. In Jewish tradition, Jerusalem is believed to be the place where God chose to manifest his presence on earth. The city holds the Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall, which is a remnant of the ancient Jewish temple destroyed by the Romans. The Western Wall is a revered site where Jews gather to pray, expressing their deep connection to God and their ancestral heritage. Moreover, the Temple Mount, located in Jerusalem, is believed to be the site of the first and second Jewish temples, making it a sacred place of worship and pilgrimage. Christianity also regards Jerusalem as a city of great significance. It is closely associated with the life, crucifixion, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Many pivotal events in Jesus' life took place in Jerusalem, as mentioned in the New Testament. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, situated in the city's Old City, is traditionally believed to be the site of Jesus' crucifixion, burial, and resurrection. It is one of the most important Christian pilgrimage sites worldwide, attracting millions of believers each year. The Via Dolorosa, a route through the Old City, is believed to be the path Jesus walked while carrying the cross. Additionally, the Mount of Olives, located east of Jerusalem, holds significance in Christianity as the place where Jesus ascended to heaven. In Islam, Jerusalem is the third holiest city, after Mecca and Medina. It holds great religious significance due to its association with the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims believe that the Prophet Muhammad traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem during the night journey, Isra and Miraj, and ascended to heaven from the Al-Aqsa Mosque, located on the Temple Mount. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is considered the third holiest site in Islam, and Muslims regard it as a place of prayer and spiritual significance. The iconic Dome of the Rock, also situated on the Temple Mount, is a revered Islamic shrine. Its golden dome is a symbol of Jerusalem and holds great architectural and religious importance in Islam. The significance of Jerusalem to these three religions has not only shaped their religious practices, but has also influenced the historical and geopolitical landscape of the region. The city has been a focal point of religious devotion, conflict, and aspirations for sovereignty. Its complex nature, marked by overlapping religious and historical claims, has been a source of tension and disagreement among different religious and political groups. Throughout history, Jerusalem has witnessed the rise and fall of numerous empires and civilizations, each leaving its mark on the city. From the ancient Israelites and Canaanites to the Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Crusaders, Ottomans, and more, Jerusalem has been a coveted prize for conquerors and a center of religious and cultural exchange. Today, Jerusalem remains a city divided along religious and political lines. The Old City, with its holy sites and narrow streets, presents a mosaic of different faiths coexisting in a confined space. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has added another layer of complexity to Jerusalem's significance, as both Israelis and Palestinians claim it as their capital and seek to establish sovereignty over the city. The status of Jerusalem continues to be a contentious issue in peace negotiations and international diplomacy. What are the challenges of holding back the building of a new temple? And has it worsened with the Israeli-Hamas war? The construction of a new temple in Israel is a highly complex and significant undertaking, encompassing a multitude of challenges, both practical and ideological. At the core of this endeavor lies the historical and religious significance of the intended site for the third temple, the Temple Mount, known as Haram al-Sharif in the Islamic tradition. This sacred ground is home to the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, revered sites in Islam, making it one of the most contentious religious locations in the world. The site must be carefully chosen, taking into account factors such as accessibility, symbolism, and the surrounding environment. It should ideally be a place that inspires reverence and tranquility, fostering a spiritual connection between the devotees and the divine. Once a suitable location has been identified, another challenge arises in obtaining the necessary permits and approvals. Temples are often subject to various zoning and regulatory requirements, and navigating through the bureaucratic maze can be a time-consuming and complex process. The project team must work closely with local authorities, ensuring that all legal obligations are met, and obtaining the necessary clearances to proceed with the construction. Designing a new temple is an art in itself, and it presents its own set of challenges. The architecture of a temple reflects the cultural and religious beliefs of the community it serves. Balancing tradition with innovation is a delicate task that requires careful thought and consultation with religious leaders and architects. The design must capture the essence of the faith while accommodating the practical needs of the worshippers. It should provide adequate space for rituals, meditation, and communal gatherings, while also incorporating aesthetic elements that inspire awe and devotion. Another significant challenge in building a temple is securing the necessary funding. Temples are often funded through donations from the community, and raising the required capital can be a daunting task. The project team must engage in extensive fundraising efforts, reaching out to individuals, businesses, and philanthropic organizations to garner support. This process requires effective communication and persuasive skills to convey the importance and value of the temple project, inspiring potential donors to contribute generously. The construction phase itself presents a multitude of challenges. Temples are often intricate structures with ornate carvings, intricate masonry, and elaborate ornamentation. Skilled craftsmen and artisans are required to bring these designs to life, and ensuring their availability and expertise can be a challenge. The project team must carefully select and coordinate with skilled contractors, craftsmen, and laborers who have the requisite skills and experience to execute the vision of the temple. Moreover, the use of traditional construction techniques and materials can pose challenges in today's modern construction industry. Many temples adhere to age-old building practices that rely on specific materials and methods. Locating and sourcing these materials, such as specific types of stone or wood, can be a time-consuming and logistically complex task. Additionally, finding craftsmen who possess the knowledge and skills to work with these traditional materials can be a challenge in itself. Ensuring the structural integrity and longevity of the temple is also of utmost importance. Temples are built to stand the test of time, serving as enduring symbols of faith and culture. Therefore, engineering considerations play a crucial role in the construction process. The temple must be designed to withstand environmental factors such as earthquakes, extreme weather conditions, and natural wear and tear. The project team must work closely with structural engineers and architects to incorporate robust engineering principles into the design, ensuring the temple's longevity and safety. The Sanhedrin has garnered considerable attention through its initiatives aimed at facilitating the temple's reconstruction. These efforts include the cultivation of farms and forests intended to recreate the environmental conditions of antiquity, as plants hold profound significance in temple rituals. However, debates persist regarding the authority of the Sanhedrin and concerns about the environmental impact and ecosystem equilibrium. The training of the Kohanim, the priestly class in Jerusalem, who trace their lineage back to Aaron, brother of Moses, is also underway in preparation for the forthcoming reconstruction. Despite their inability to fulfill traditional duties without the temple, the Kohanim continue to hold a revered status within Jewish communities and play distinct roles in religious ceremonies. One of the notable challenges is the production of a red heifer, whose ashes are used in purification rituals. Red heifers, however, are extinct, and the Sanhedrin is exploring methods to breed a pure red heifer, utilizing red Angus as a foundational base. Several red heifers have been transported to Israel and are being held in an undisclosed location until they reach the required age for ceremonial purposes. The timing of the red heifer ceremony is proposed to coincide with significant Jewish holidays, offering a direct view of the former location of the temple. The international community plays a pivotal role in this multifaceted saga. The status of Jerusalem, including the Temple Mount, has long been a contentious issue in international diplomacy. Numerous resolutions and agreements, including the Oslo Accords, have attempted to address the status of Jerusalem and its holy sites. Unilateral actions to construct a new temple would have far-reaching implications for regional stability and international relations. Furthermore, the broader geopolitical context must be considered, particularly Israel's relationships with neighboring countries, especially its Arab neighbors. The construction of the Third Temple would undoubtedly impact these relationships, potentially influencing regional peace efforts and alliances. The presence of extremist groups must also be acknowledged, as factions within various religious and ideological movements may seek to exploit the construction of the Third Temple to further their own agendas, potentially escalating tensions and violence in the region. One major challenge to the achievement of this iconic feat is the recent escalation of conflict in the Middle East. After the October 7, 2023 attack by Hamas, there has been an outburst of war, particularly impacting the Gaza Strip. The Israeli attacks on Gaza have been relentless, lasting for 31 days and resulting in the deaths of over 10,000 people, according to Palestinian health officials. Tragically, among the casualties are numerous children, and even hospitals have not been spared from the violence. The international community and humanitarian organizations have strongly condemned Israel's actions due to the continuous bombardment of the Gaza Strip and the resulting loss of innocent lives. Calls for a ceasefire have echoed across the world, with protests taking place in various Middle Eastern countries and beyond. This unexpected turn of events has had a profound impact on any potential agreement with the Muslim community regarding the rebuilding of the Third Temple. The conflict has not only caused immense human suffering, but has also strained diplomatic relations and deepened divisions between different religious and ethnic groups. It has created an atmosphere of mistrust and anger, making it difficult to find common ground on sensitive issues, such as the construction of religious structures. In order to overcome this challenge, it is crucial to address the underlying causes of the conflict and work towards a comprehensive and lasting peace agreement. Rebuilding the Third Temple will require delicate negotiations, trust-building measures, and a genuine commitment to reconciliation from all parties involved. What is the current situation with the building of the Third Temple? The Jewish people today hold a firm belief in the historical and religious significance of constructing the Third Temple. Rooted in prophecies documented in the Hebrew Bible over 2 millennia ago, these end-time prophecies, found in Daniel 9:24, 27, and Daniel 12:11, 12, have sparked diverse interpretations among scholars and religious traditions. Of particular interest is Daniel 9:24, 27, known as the 70 Weeks Prophecy, which discusses a period of 70 weeks, or 77s, with varying interpretations. It also alludes to the rebuilding of Jerusalem and the sanctuary, which some interpret as a timeline predicting events related to the Third Temple. A matter of debate among Jews is the identity of the Anointed One mentioned in verse 26, with some viewing it as a reference to the Messiah. Daniel 12:11-12 introduces the concept of the abomination of desolation and a period of 1,290 days. Some interpretations link these verses to the Temple Mount and the future Third Temple. In this context, the abomination is often associated with a sacrilegious act that desecrates the holy place, potentially referring to the Temple Mount. However, interpretations of these prophecies vary among religious groups and scholars, and discussions surrounding them can be contentious, often entangled in religious and political debates centered on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Nevertheless, international mediators have played pivotal roles in facilitating dialogue and negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians, including discussions on the Temple Mount and the potential construction of the Third Temple. The United States has emerged as a chief mediator in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, employing extensive shuttle diplomacy to bring the parties together for talks and negotiations. Notably, the United States brokered significant agreements like the Oslo Accords in the 1990s, which set the stage for addressing contentious issues, including the status of religious sites such as the Temple Mount. Neighboring countries such as Jordan and Egypt have also assumed significant mediating roles. Jordan in particular holds a historical and religious connection to the Temple Mount, serving as the custodian of Islamic holy sites in Jerusalem. Leveraging its position, the Kingdom of Jordan engages in negotiations and discussions to promote dialogue and preserve the religious significance of the Temple Mount. Egypt, too, exercises its diplomatic influence in the region, actively participating in mediating efforts. Over the years, various reconciliation methods have been proposed and attempted to address the challenges surrounding the construction of the Third Temple. One potential approach revolves around the concept of shared religious spaces, drawing inspiration from historical precedents like Istanbul's Hagia Sophia, which has served as both a Christian cathedral and a Muslim mosque at different times. Proponents suggest that the third temple could be built in a manner that accommodates both Jewish and Muslim worship, fostering coexistence and mutual respect within a shared space for diverse religious traditions. Interfaith dialogue and engagement also hold significant potential in reconciliation efforts. Initiatives bringing together religious leaders, scholars, and communities from different faith traditions foster understanding, empathy, and respect. Such dialogues provide platforms for open discussions where diverse perspectives can be shared and commonalities can be discovered. In the midst of the current conflict between Israel and Palestine, the need for dialogue and peaceful negotiations is urgent, particularly when addressing sensitive matters like the construction of the Third Temple. It is crucial to acknowledge that the path to reconciliation is fraught with challenges and complexities. However, achieving reconciliation requires delicately balancing religious, political, and diplomatic considerations, alongside a strong commitment to finding common ground and fostering peaceful coexistence. Thanks for watching another episode of Beyond Discovery. While you're still here, click on the other videos you see on your screen right now.